Good day, welcome back to G&H Honey Bees. It's been a while since I've done a video. There hasn't actually been a whole lot of exciting things going on. Our weather has been up and down, but mostly down, mostly cool, cold. It's only about 14-15 degrees Celsius right now, which is about 59 Fahrenheit. But the next few days it's supposed to get up to the mid-20s, which is mid-70s in Fahrenheit. But I have a major problem, and it's mostly due to the cold weather. I can almost guarantee you I'm not going to find any honey in any of these honey supers, and probably very few bees in the honey supers, because it's been so cold that they're all staying down in the brood chamber, keeping the brood warm, and they're making swarm cells. And the exact same thing happened last year because of the cool weather. They're flying good right at the moment, and we have wild blackberries in full bloom, but they're just not bringing in enough to make any excess honey. So, got to check through all 5 of these big colonies today and see what their swarm condition is, and see if there's anything I can figure out to get them up into the honey supers. I do have queen excluders in there, because I don't want the queens to get up and lay into my honey frames. But yeah, I don't know what to do really. And I have to get these boxes inspected and prepped, because tomorrow we're going to try and move them to the fireweed area out in the forest. But I'm kind of wondering if that's all going to be a lot of work for nothing, because they just aren't making honey that I could see. So anyway, let me get the top off this first one, and we'll have a look and see what's going on. Alright, so there are bees. Not many. There are bees in the honey super, the top one. Let's just pull a frame and see what we can find. And there's just a wee bit of nectar in there. Just a wee bit. Nothing to write home about. Yeah, some of those frames aren't even drawn out yet. Like this one. Yeah, this is pretty sad for the amount of bees that are in here. There's a wee bit of nectar in that one. Just a bit. So, let's get you aimed down here a bit more. But I think there's even fewer bees in here than there is in the top one. Come on for there. I got that glued down pretty good. Just checking to see, make sure the queen wasn't up here. So where do we start? Yeah, this has got honey in it, a little bit. But one would think that would be all full and capped with the amount of bloom that's here. Just a little bit of honey. You know, and these are supposed to be the winter food frames. That's got bee bread in it, right in that middle part there. Yeah, queen cups. See them there? I don't see any eggs in them just yet. And that's got bee bread and some capped winter food. I'm going to take them off. Tons of pollen, tons of bee bread. And there's just a little bit of brood right in here. This is all bee bread. This has got brood in it. There's brood there. There's a bee hatching. There's two more swarm cells started. And get off of there. I'm just going to pull them off. I did this last week. I see eggs in those open cells, so the queen is still laying. More queen cells. See them there? Sunshine. Yeah, those three have got larvae in them. Right there, those three there. Get off of there. Get away. I'll knock them off. Yeah, you can see, I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up, but you can see the white. It's got a little bit of royal jelly in there. Yeah, that frame, this frame is completely laid up. All them open cells are full of eggs. There's eggs on this side. So, just to conserve some battery in the camera, I'm gonna shut the camera off for a bit. I gotta go through every frame. I gotta lift this box, go through all the frames in the bottom, and I'll bring you back if I find something exciting. Well, I'm back. This is the very next frame. Get off of there. There's a fully drawn out queen cell there. But I'm going to pull that off of there. I have no space for any more bees. I could do a split, but I just don't have any room for them. Alright, I'll be back in a bit. So I got that box done. It's sort of put back together, but I have some other preparations to do for moving them. So we're on to the next one. And there's about 5 bees in the honey super. There's nothing in there. So yeah, that's got nothing in it. Let's start over here. That's kind of empty. Got a little bit in the middle there, but nothing much. That's got a bit more in it just by the weight. No queen cells on that one. That's got some honey in it. Camera's not going to show it very good because of the roof, but that's got honey in it. Same on the other side. That's got bee bread in it, a little bit of honey. Same on that side, bee bread and honey. There's a bit of brood in the middle there. Right there, I can see some fresh grubs in here. That's interesting. There's brood there. And same on the other side. There's a pattern of brood, but look at the queen cells. Four cells started there. Four or five anyway. I'm just going to peel them all off. Yeah, for the amount of bees flying from this, you'd think they were making tons of honey and not thinking about swarming, but yeah, weather's not predicting that. Good pattern of brood there. I don't know what's with them open cells unless look at that mini drone. There's a mini drone. So there must have been some unfertilized eggs laid. But this box has the new Carniolan queen in it. At least I hope she's still in here. Hard to tell if they've, just by looking at the lack of bees in this upper box. They might have swarmed, or they're just not populated enough. Yeah, look at the queen cells along the bottom of that one. Both sides. So, let's see if Her Majesty's here. I don't see her. So what I'm going to do is save myself a little bit of trouble, is shake some of them bees off of there. So I can scrape that stuff off. And that's just, no, that's freshly capped too by the looks of it. So they have brought in some honey, but not a great deal. So anyway, I got to lift this box, do the same thing, go through all them frames, and then we'll be back. Alright, so I found the queen. She is, where did she go? There she is. Right there, big carny. Racing along there. She hasn't gotten skinny, so I don't think she's in the mood to swarm, but there's more swarm cells. Alright, so I'll be back. Right, so that second box is done. This is the third one. And these have been on here for 3 weeks. And they have done absolutely zero with them because there are no bees in the honey super. None. Population looks fairly good, but it's not fabulous. So anyway, I'm going to do the same things I was doing there. I'll bring you back when I find something interesting. Alright, so that third box is done. Get you around here, we'll have a look in this box. bees in the honey super, but nothing to write home about. Come on, break free. Yeah, that's pretty light. Let's see if we got anything in here. Well, this frame is heavy. Well, it looks like, yeah, the juice is coming out of there. There you can see on there the nectar that's not cured. That's all the same. So let's pull this box. So it's got some winter food in it. It's got honey in it, and you can't see very well here. More shadows from the roof. So there is some brood right around here, and some freshly hatched larvae, but the rest of this has got winter food around it. Same here. That's got bee bread in there, so I don't see any queen cells on that one. There's fresh brood there. Honey around the outside. Same on that side. And a queen cup. Get off of there. So, I'm going to have to go through this entire box just like I did the other ones. And check for cups and cells and stuff, and we'll be back. Alright, so I had to take a break, but I went through this box. Only found a few queen cells, saw the queen, and or queen cups anyway, not the actual cells. None of them were populated, and so I've got them all prepped to go. And I got my neighbor over here to help me. I'm taking these four boxes, and what we've done is we've lifted. I usually have these straps right around the stands. In case a bear gets up here, he can't actually tip the box over. But in order to move them, I have to put the straps around the boxes. So we've lifted up the backs of the boxes and slipped the straps underneath and got them all sorted. So anyway, we have one more to go here. No bees in the super. I can just tell just by looking at it. Doesn't seem to be a terribly large population in here yet either. A little honey. So there's some honey on there. This could be why the bees aren't up in the super, but that's got a little honey in it. And there's a little patch of brood. Here, oh, let's see if we can see that. A little patch of brood right there, and that's filled with honey. Same on that side, little patch of brood and honey. Alright, same again here. Little patch of brood. Nectar around that. Same there. I think these girls, just because of the low population, have been filling this upper brood box with nectar. I can see fresh grubs in the center there. Same on that side. So there's a little patch in this one too. The rest of it's surrounded by honey. So that could be why the population's not quite exploding in this box like I thought it might. Let me look at this one. That's mostly honey and a little bit of bee bread. That's all bee bread and honey. That's mostly empty. I wonder if I put that closer to that other brood, if the queen would get up here and do her thing. 'Cause that's mostly empty. Put that one in there. I've already looked at that one. That one's mostly empty too, so I'm going to put it in as well. Yeah, let's move that over next to that other one. Let's see if she gets up here to lay eggs and that. Here's my Formic Pro pad. Just giving them a treatment just because. Alright, so that's full of honey. That's full of honey on that side. And bee bread on the other side. And then I'm starting to see brood. There's brood. That's getting pretty old. It looks like it's getting ready to hatch. Same as that. And there's fresh grubs in them open cells that are in there. I don't know. People call them larvae. I call them grubs. Maybe it's because they look like grubs. There's freshly hatched bees and all them open cells there. Kind of hard to tell. I'm not seeing any queen cells, so they aren't getting ready to swarm. There are bees just starting to hatch out on this frame. Oh, there's a swarm cup. A couple of them there. Let's pull that off. Pull that one off. Those are drones. There's older brood. That should be hatching any time now. No queen cups. Fresh grubs and all them open cells there. You know, if I stop now, there's going to be a fully developed queen cell somewhere along here. Nothing there. Surprised I haven't. Maybe the queen's in the other box. I didn't look too close for the queen. Sometimes they stick out like a sore thumb, and sometimes they don't. Interesting. I didn't see the queen. So I don't think she's going to be here. Anyway, I know she's there. So I'm just going to put them back together, and that'll be it for today. So anyway, I'm exhausted, and I hope you all enjoyed the video. And I'm sorry I haven't had anything out lately, but it's just been bad weather and some good weather, more bad weather, and just kind of been letting the bees do their thing. So anyway, we'll talk to you again soon. Bye for now.